welcome to Crossroads and Callings. I am your host, Chimere Brown, and this is the podcast dedicated to navigating life's pivots and discovering the path to true purpose and calling. My guest today, Crystal Marshall, is a writer, leadership coach, and a career strategist who has built her calling at the powerful intersection of resilience and reinvention. For 8 years, Crystal was the chief of staff and executive assistant to the president of media sales at BET Media Group. But today, Crystal's calling is helping others rise and rebuild. She is the founder of Right to Success and creator of Crystal Marshall Certified. Her entire mission is rooted in the powerful belief that pressure does not break you, it produces you, which I love. Today, we will dive into how she made the pivotal choice to choose herself without quitting on her purpose. Welcome, Crystal Marshall, to Crossroads and Callings.
Thank you, Chimere.
I love to see your smiling face. I mean, Crystal and we used to share. My friend calls them a short hair girl, a hairstylist.
Yes.
Because we're part of the Pixie gang. But you have such a robust story. And I think the best way to kind of get into it is to really go through your career timeline.
Okay.
Because you have so many crossroad moments that happens in conjunction with your professional and your personal life kind of intersecting.
Yes.
So we're going to get right into it. Crystal has an article on her website called Choosing Yourself Without Quitting, and that will be the point of reference for today's conversation. Crossroads and Callings starts now.
So
okay.
excited.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So this segment we're gonna call I entitled it Don't Drink the Corporate Kool-Aid, because you had a season in your life where you were changing jobs like every 2 years.
Yes.
And like I said, Crystal has this really robust kind of career history. Long story short, it really don't match. It's a lot of stuff that doesn't match. And it just reminds me of so many people's resumes where you're trying to put the puzzle pieces together and it just does not make sense. So she started out at Carnival Cruise Line. Why Carnival Cruise Line?
So I don't like cold weather.
Okay.
That was the basis of it. I wanted to move to a warm location because I'm from Chicago. I went to school in Indiana, which pretty much has the same weather as us.
Yeah.
And I've always loved sunshine and warm weather. So I was like, I'm moving. Like, that's all I was thinking about when I graduated from college. I was like, I'm moving. I know I'm moving and I'm moving to Florida. What can I do where I can use my degree and find a job and live in Florida? That was my whole basis point. I had a whole party, a graduation party, a moving away party. Everybody came, and then it didn't work out. So you had your first major crossroad, which was your health. You just tell us about that because it just came out of nowhere. Yes, I still don't exactly know what the problem was, but I was in training at Carnival. And you can only miss 2 training sessions when you're there, like when you're new. Mm-hmm. So I'm in training and I just felt hot. And I was like, I don't know what is going on. And my throat felt like it was on fire. Wow. And my ears just felt hot. So I go in the bathroom. I look at my chest and there's all these red dots on my chest. And I'm like, that can't be. And I was like, maybe I'm tripping. So I come out the stall and there's this lady washing her hands. And I was like, is my chest red? And she was like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, so I'm not tripping.
Yeah.
So I tell like this guy that was in training with me, I'm like, I don't feel good. And he lived in Florida. So he was like, well, I can make you some soup while we're on our break. And then maybe that'll help you feel better. Yeah. So I ate soup. I threw up. As soon as I ate the soup, I'm like, okay, well, that's not going to work. So then I called my mom. I'm like, I don't know what's wrong, but I don't feel good. And I was like, I think I'm going to just go and lay down. And I had a roommate that I didn't know because her father worked at the school I graduated from and she needed a roommate. So he was just like, oh, you're moving to Florida? My daughter lives there. So I didn't know her at all.
Yeah.
And I moved there and she was just all about herself. So when I told her I was sick, she was going on a date and she was like, well, it's some medicine in the cabinet. You should be fine.
Yeah, take care of yourself.
Yeah. And I was like,
yeah.
all right, well, there's that. So I'm like, Mom, I don't know. I think I'm going to just go to sleep. And I just felt so exhausted. Like, I didn't have energy and I was hot. Like my ears literally were on fire. So my mom was like, you need to go to the hospital. I was like, I don't have the energy for that. I'm going to just go to sleep. She's like, you can't go to sleep. I'm like, Mom, look. So I'm on the phone with her. I'm on the phone and she's on the phone, the house phone, calling the ambulance to come get me. I couldn't even get out the bed. Like they had to break the door down to come into the apartment to come and get me. And they said they asked me to have a pacemaker because they couldn't find my pulse. And my mom was on the other line in my ear and she's like, don't go to sleep. And then they're like, don't go to sleep. You could die. I'm like, wait.
Oh my God.
So now I'm like panicked. I'm like, you can't find my pulse. I'm about to die. I'm in Florida. Like, I don't know anybody here. So they rushed me to the hospital and never really knew what it was. Like, I stayed in the hospital for a while. And then they gave me some medicine that broke me out. It felt like my bones were breaking. Like it was a
just
horrible
one thing after the other.
It was crazy. I'm like, what is this? So I finally go home. This is the first time I'm ever in a wheelchair. Like they had to push me through the wheelchair in the airport because I couldn't walk. Like my legs were that messed up. And still with no like diagnosis of what this is. Right. I'm just trying to go home because at least somebody will take care of me.
Yes, you need to go where somebody loves you.
Yes.
Because right now you were feeling very unloved.
Yes. I'm like, this is so crazy. So when I go home, as soon as I get off the plane, they take me to the hospital. I'm in the hospital for like 2 weeks. Still don't know what's wrong.
Yeah.
And then my school called and they're like, we heard you're sick. Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm figuring it out. I don't know. And then they said, do you need a job? So I was like, yeah, when I get better. I'm like, when I get better.
Not they want to give you a job. I'm like, I'm on the sick and shut in list. Okay. I'm at death's door. Yes. You called me for a job. Okay.
They asked, I want a job.
And because Carnival Cruise had terminated you during this time in the midst of your sickness.
Yes, because I had missed more than 2 days being in the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah. And the reason why they offered the job is because I was an administrative assistant / admissions counselor assistant for all 4 years in college. So they needed an admissions counselor.
Got it.
And so they were like, well, you've been here 4 years. You kind of know.
But like, what is the timeline? And this is what, when I was reading your article, I had this question in the back of my mind. Mm-hmm. What was the timeline between you had to heal your body and then you had luckily you had a job waiting for you, but how long did that healing process take? Because right now they're giving you meds and everything for something they have not identified.
Yes.
Clearly you're deathly sick, literally. How long did it take you to recover from that?
This was literally like a month because all of this happened in the summer. I graduated from college in May.
Yeah.
And then all of this was during the summer, and I started in the school year in August at the new job.
Wow.
So I moved back to Indiana. Not that I had moved too long ago anyway.
Yeah.
But my grandmother was crying because she was like, you can't leave. Like, you were just sick.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I know people in Indiana. Like, all my friends are still there. I will be fine in Indiana.
What gave you... Maybe because you were younger, because that bounce back hit a little different. To be sick for a month and then be ready for the workforce again from the summer to the fall, like what kind of gave you the energy to say, you know, I'm going to pick myself up and go back out there?
As soon as I felt better. Anytime I get sick, I get really nervous because usually they don't know what's wrong.
Yeah.
With whatever sickness I end up having. And then it hits quickly, and then all of a sudden I'm fine. So I don't ever know like when it's coming or why it happens.
Yeah.
And so when it does come, and when I do feel better, I'm like, I got to get back to it because I don't know how much time I have on earth, really.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a
scary.
Sickly person, but when I get sick, it's just like I don't know where it came from.
And we're gonna get to that because that wasn't the first time.
Yeah.
Or the last time.
Right.
That you've been sick in your journey. So You end up working at your alma mater. You were there for a year because it was a year contract.
Yes.
And then you end up in another very random place of Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Yes.
Like I said, Crystal's story, I was just like, she was just here, there, and everywhere. When I think of Enterprise Rent-A-Car, I think of renting a car. But you were cleaning your cars. You were working on cars. Look at Crystal. Does she look like someone that should be, I don't know, shining hubcaps? I was trying to imagine you there. And I just could not wrap my head around it.
Oh, man. It was literally, I wanted to come back home to Chicago.
Yeah.
And my degree is in business and nonprofit management. So I was like, maybe management is, they have a management training program.
Yeah.
So I was like, it says management. So it's, in line with what I got a degree in. So maybe that'll work out. And they hired me quickly. So I was like, well, moving back home. And I moved back to my mom's house. And I was there on the first day. It was 7 a.m. when I started. And at 3 o'clock, I started packing up because I'm like, I came at 7. I think this how the hours work.
Yeah.
7 to 3,
or
9 to 5.
At least 3:30.
Yeah. I was like, and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I got here at 7. I'm about to leave. And they were like, no, you're here until 7. I was like, how? When I got here at 7.
It's a 12-hour shift?
7 to 7. 5 days a week. And every other Saturday, 9 to 5. I mean, 9 to 1.
You had a schedule of a doctor.
Couldn't believe it. I was like, they did not say this in the interview. Had they said this, I would have left.
Right. Girl. Oh my gosh.
So the saving grace was that I worked with a lot of guys and they didn't want me to do as much of the washing cars. And I did have to do it sometimes, but they did a lot for me.
What do you, so we've hit 3 places already in your career journey. If you could give your career a theme, what is like the common thread as we navigate through this story?
I think my common thread was finding joy. That's what I was looking for.
Wow. And I'm going to add to that because I feel finding joy, yes. But it seems like you were really just trying to find your place. Where do I belong?
Yes, like I've seen people in their jobs they dislike for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I couldn't imagine being at a job for like 30 years that I just didn't like.
So that's why you gave yourself 2 years or a year?
And if I could have gotten out faster, I would have. But Enterprise, they don't give you very many off days in your first year. So I couldn't even take days to interview anywhere. Oh. So I'm like, I'm here. And the reason why I was able to leave is because the manager was leaving. She had been there like 7 years or something. And I was like, well, since you're leaving, do you mind if I start interviewing different places so I can leave too? And she was like, no, it's fine. Just let me know when you have your interviews. So that's how I was able to leave. But had she not been there, I still wouldn't have had time off to interview anyway.
So, wow. I had no idea that they were working people so hard.
Yeah. For $32,000.
That is insane.
$32,500, I think it was.
How did you end up at Chase Bank then? Was it because that manager gave you the grace to interview and then you ended up at Chase Bank, which I felt like was your first real kind of grown-up job?
Yes, and my only reason for doing that was because I wanted less hours. And I was like, the bank is not open that long. That's all I cared about.
You had a really low bar.
I did. I was just like, banking hours. That sounds great. I was like, then maybe I could learn about money and wealth. That was how I was thinking.
Yeah.
And we were licensed personal bankers. So we got licensed through Chase with Series 6, 63, and life insurance. And I was like, oh, that sounds like, okay.
Yeah, something I can use.
Money.
Yeah.
So that basically means you can sell mutual funds. But you can't sell it without the actual Series 7 licensed investor. So really, you're just like the pipeline. You uncover the need and you send it to that
But
person.
do you get commission? Did you get commission off of that?
You do, but it's so minor that when I started seeing those numbers, I'm like, what?
Right.
But I was already in.
Right. Not much difference, right? So, but the reason I'm going through like I said, your career kind of roadmap is because things happened.
Yes.
And so I think during your time at Chase Bank, that was a really pivotal moment for you personally. Um, talk about kind of your relationship with your aunt and what was happening in your personal life at that time.
Okay, so I had been at Chase maybe almost 2 years at that point. And my favorite aunt, who is my mom's baby sister, she was like the person I talked to all the time. And I also talked to my grandmother all the time, and I talked to my mom all the time. So those three were like my staples.
Yeah.
And my aunt, I called her one day, and she didn't sound like she was doing well, but she hadn't been sick. So I'm like, "Are you okay?" Thinking it's like maybe a cold or something. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm okay." I'm like, "You don't sound okay." And then she started saying she hadn't had a bowel movement in like weeks. And I was like, "You need to go to the doctor. That's like not normal." And she was like, "Nah, I don't want to go." And the reason she didn't want to go is because my grandmother had passed maybe like 3 years before that. And my grandmother had ovarian cancer. So when my grandmother had cancer, my aunt stopped going to the doctor for her annual checkups because she didn't want to know if she had it. So she just stopped going to the doctor. And she didn't want to go, even though she didn't have a bowel movement. But I'm like, you need to do something. That doesn't make sense.
Right.
So she finally went, and then they told her she had ovarian cancer, the same thing my grandmother had. So she was devastated. And hers was like the size of a watermelon. But my aunt was kind of heavyset, so we didn't know the difference. My grandmother was not heavyset, but she wore kind of loose clothes. Hers was the size of a cantaloupe, so when you like lift her shirt up, you could see it, but you couldn't see it with her shirt loose. My aunt, you wouldn't know the difference anyways. So every day after work at Chase, I'm going to the hospital to see her, and I'm just sitting with her, talking with her for maybe like 2 hours after work. And one day I was late because I went to go get some McDonald's, and she was looking at the clock. And I was like, "I'm sorry, I'm late. I was just trying to get some food." She was like, No, it's not that. I just feel like I wasted my time. I don't have any time left. She worked at Allstate for like 20-something years. But she was very creative. And Allstate is not a creative job at all.
Very button up.
Yes. So she was like, "I just want you to figure out what you want to do and just don't waste your time." And when she said that, I was like, okay, I got it. And like 2 weeks later, she passed. So I quit the day that she passed. And I didn't have a savings, anything. Like I was only making like $32,500 or something like that. Like I didn't have anything. But I did have the desire to figure out like, what am I
supposed to be doing?
Yeah, like what I want to do.
Yeah.
Because I was trying with all the jobs that I had. I'm like, I don't like this, it's time to go. I don't like this, it's time to go. And I was getting skill sets from different places. Didn't know what I was going to use them for. But I'm like, this isn't it. Like, I just knew it wasn't it. And I have a godfather who kept telling me, you can't keep quitting these jobs. Like, he had been at his job for like 30-some years.
Yeah, but they're part of they're just a different generation.
Yes.
And corporate was different then too, because there was some loyalty there. You can be at a company 20, 30 years and be well taken care of and retire out. So they're looking at you from their own kind of lens.
Yes. And it didn't matter to me what he said, because I'm like, sir,
it's time to go.
These jobs, they not working for me.
Right.
So after she passed, I literally just took the time to figure out what I wanted. I didn't know where to start, but I started with a blank sheet of paper, and I wrote at the top, like, what do I like to do? And I just wrote whatever I like to do, whether it was shopping or writing or reading or resume writing or whatever it was. And then I was like, what's recession proof? Because at this time it was 2009.
Yeah.
So we were in a recession. And then I chose resume writing. And then Facebook was my saving grace as far as marketing, because it was free. I didn't have any money. Right. And I literally was just talking about resumes every single day. And I gave job tips every single day. And I felt like I was doing it too much, because you know how you feel like you should do a mix of like personal stuff and everything was just
business.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then I was watching a movie on TV, and a McDonald's commercial ran on every commercial break. when I was watching the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, if McDonald's talks about French fries and burgers every break, then why can't I talk about my business?
Absolutely.
So I kept talking about my business.
Yeah.
And then I became the resume lady.
I love that. So that was the inception of Right to Success.
Yes.
When did you start like generating income? Because that's the first thing most new entrepreneurs think about. Did that happen right away because you had been promoting so much?
I'd say I was running specials, so I was doing like $100 resumes or whatever. I was just cranking them out. Like, I just need to pay my rent.
Yes.
Like, that's
so whoever need a resume, I got it.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it fast. So
right. So tell your friends about me.
So I was doing just enough probably to make my expenses meet where they need to meet. And then I was like, okay, if this gets tight, let me sign up with some temp agencies because I know they pay weekly. And I was like, that'll help me pay whatever bills that I'm not meeting.
Right.
So whenever they had assignments, I'd take them. And usually the assignments were so small that I could still do my work at the assignment. So
right,
I was still writing resumes.
Yeah.
I answer the phone and I write resumes.
Right. Yeah, how can I help you? Please hold.
So I was hustling. And I don't come from a family that can help me financially. Mm-hmm. So I knew that I had to figure it out on my own. If I needed extensions, I would ask for extensions, like whatever it is. But I was like, I'm going to make this happen. And I'm not going to get into another job that I really didn't look for real, because these other jobs I was just like, oh, that sounds good, oh, that'll work, so these hours.
That's a great segue, because the next segment I want to call BET and Kelly Rowland.
Okay.
Because you said you didn't want to work any more jobs that you did not like.
Yes.
And at this time you are an full-time entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. Well, and then you have your kind of temp jobs on the side, but for the most part, you're putting most of your energy into Right to Success.
Yes.
With the career tips, which you had the experience because you had been turning over jobs really quickly. Yes. So if you're going to ask anybody, you should ask someone that can get a job every 2 years, like really. But in your article, you mentioned that you were watching BET and Kelly Rowland, and that spoke to you. Mm-hmm. Kind of give us kind of the background of that story.
Okay, so this is 2016 now.
Yeah.
And Kelly Rowland's dance show was coming out. And I was like, oh, that might be cute to watch. Mm-hmm. So I was just looking to see what time it came on. And I went to the BET website to see what time it came on. And then as I was clicking, I heard a voice say, click careers. And I was like, why would I do that? Like, I'm not looking for a job. I'm okay. So I
got my hustle figured out.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
I'm good to go. My bills are paid. Yeah.
So I was fine. I was good where I was at.
Yeah.
And I had the freedom that I wanted. Like, I lived in a studio apartment. I don't even think I had a car at the time, because I was keeping all expenses low. I'm like, if I increase expenses, I got to go get a job. But if I keep them low, I can manage this.
Right.
So, and I like taking long walks on the beach. And I can do that when I don't have a job at any time of day.
Mm-hmm. You had your life down to a science at this point.
Good. So I clicked careers and I saw executive assistant to the president of media sales. And I was like, huh. And then it said Chicago. And I was like, BET is in Chicago? Which
I did not know. I was also surprised about that.
I had no clue. So I was like, okay. But it's in Prudential Plaza. So I didn't know that either. Mm. And my mom was an executive assistant for pretty much all of my childhood. So I knew the title. I was familiar with it. Yeah. And when I read the job description, it was so many things that I had done at all those other jobs and with the business. So I was like, well, I don't have the title, but I know that I know how to do this work. Right. And then I was like, well, who's the president of media sales? So then I Googled him. And when I looked him up, I'm like, oh, he's prestigious and he's at like places of power and he's a big decision maker. Maybe this would actually make good sense for an elevation standpoint. So I was looking at it way different than I looked at other jobs. Yeah. And I really researched him a lot because I wanted to make sure that he was somebody that I wanted to work with and that this was an environment that I wanted to be in. Right. And of course you don't know that truly until you get in it, but you can research enough to figure out something. Right. So I was going down the rabbit hole of reading everything.
Like, who is this person? Yes. What are they known for? Yes. If on the outside looking in, it just says it seems to me you were just preparing for your next opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
which most people should do anyway because you want to know what you're getting into. How did that moment of just applying turn into an 8-year career?
It was supposed to be 2 years initially,
Of
which,
course.
that was my whole.
You got a psycho. Okay, you're consistent. It's supposed to be 2 years. Got it.
So in the interview, he said, I'm going to retire in 2 years. So this is not going to last that long. And I was like, oh, that's perfect.
That's perfect for me. That's how I live anyway.
So I'm like, oh, we are so aligned. This
yes,
is great.
yeah.
So every 2 years, he renews his contract or he can leave. And every time he decided he was going to renew his contract. And he kept asking me if I would stay with him when he renewed. And I kept saying yes because I was growing so much. I loved what I was doing. I had a good time. And it was like things that I've never done before that I didn't even know that I could do. But I'm really good at figuring stuff out really fast. And I'm good at being calm about it as I figure it out.
Right.
So whatever he threw at me, I was figuring it out. And it almost felt like a hazing thing when I first got there. Because they were having me do some wild stuff that I'm like, do what now?
Right.
But I was figuring it out.
I was going to ask you, like, what was your day-to-day like?
It was never the same. Literally no day was the same. Like when I first got there, so it was somebody's birthday. And he was like, you got to get a caramel cake. And he was like, not like a store-bought one, like your grandma made it. And I was like, what does that look like? Okay. So I was I get on Instagram and I see this grandma who makes caramel cake.
Oh my gosh.
So I reach out to her and I tell her what I need. And she was like, yeah, I can have it for you tomorrow because the thing was the next day.
Okay.
So she baked the cake. I picked it up at night. I brought it to the office the next day. And it fed the office, which is like 25 people.
Wow.
And he was like, you really went and got the cake? I'm like, you said get the cake. And he was like, yeah, but I didn't think he was going to be able to get it that fast. I'm like, I thought that was part of the job.
So I think that was, so he was constantly like testing you and throwing things out at you. And then you were rising to the challenge.
Yes.
Did that make the job fun then?
It was fun. It was like you stayed on your toes for sure because you don't know what's going to happen, who it's going to happen with. You don't know who's going to come into the office. You don't know what project you're working on that day. It might be residue from the previous day that you have something, but now today is also some brand new something that needs to get done in 2 hours. So it was just like, it kept you going for sure.
How did you maintain kind of your own vision and plan for your life while at the same time as an executive assistant, you're executing someone else's vision?
Mm-hmm.
So how did you find the balance? Because you still had Right to Success at the time, correct?
Yes. I had to put Right to Success on hold for like a year because I couldn't do both. I couldn't learn BT in great detail and still write as intensely as I was. So I had to put it on hold. I was telling everybody like, can't do it, but if you want to circle back in like
a couple of months.
Yes. And everybody was fine with it. They were just like, okay, well, let me know.
Right.
Like nobody was like, couple months. Like everybody was okay. And I was surprised. Mm-hmm. But it was I came in with purpose. That was the first time I came into a job with purpose.
Right.
My purpose was to learn and to grow and to be invited at tables that I would have never seen before. That was my purpose.
Did you accomplish that?
I definitely did.
Okay.
But I was tired, and every time I sat at the table. So I was like, okay, this is what I asked for. So I had to pump myself up at these tables because I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
But it's like an amazing table. It's like a Shark Tank type of table. Like literally Damon John was at the table. And I'm just like,
okay.
Oh my God, I'm so tired.
Yeah, because you were working.
Every day was exhausting.
Yeah.
And I literally ended every day on 0 and started every day at 100. Like that's how the days went. So by the time these tables happened, it's usually late at night, like maybe 8 o'clock. I probably started at 9 and I probably done 30,000 things in a day. And now we still got this last dinner or meeting or whatever at 8, 9 o'clock. So I had to talk to myself in the mirror, literally, and be like, Crystal, you asked for this.
Yeah, I do. I'm going to pause there because not only did you ask for it, you are one of the few people that I see something on TV and then follow through.
Mm-hmm.
Because so many times I could watch a TV show, I'm like, I want to do that. But then you either you psych yourself out or you somehow you sabotage it. But you was looking for Kelly Rowland and you came out with a job. Like, oh, this looks fun. And now you're technically living the dream.
Yes.
But you're doing it on empty.
Yes.
Is that when you begin to realize that it was time to make another change?
No. I'd say I had grace for this job.
Yeah.
Like, I literally had moments where it's just like fire burning and people are asking me questions and I'm like an octopus lady and I'm giving them all the answers. I know all the answers.
Yeah.
I'm instructing them on what to do, what to say. And I'm surprising myself because I'm like, I'm killing it.
Yeah.
And I see my mom because she came to a lot of events with me. And my mom is looking impressed, but she also looking concerned because she see like all of this stuff is happening. And then I see him, he's in the corner, he's talking to like an executive and they're all watching. So people see me moving and I'm surprised, almost looking down at myself like, girl, you okay? You all right?
Yeah.
Like, you doing it, you got it. But after every event, I was so like, don't talk to me type of thing. That's how I felt with everybody.
Because
like
your social battery was empty.
Yeah, I'm like, I just need to sleep. Like, I like warm blankets, movies, and some chocolate. Like, don't say nothing to me. Don't ask me no questions.
Right.
So,
you needed to pour back into yourself.
I did. But I also didn't want to neglect my friends and family. So when they had things going on, I would still show up. And everybody knew, like, I was going to be there because that's the type of person I am. Yeah. I'm always, like, committed and loyal to whatever I agree to. And I didn't want to not do that just because of the job. Mm-hmm, so I was doing a lot of things all at one time.
Yeah. So you had your own business. You had a job that was testing you and your patience and all your abilities.
Yes.
And at the same time, you had to show up as Crystal.
Mm-hmm. Every day.
So 8 years of doing that is a lot. Mm-hmm. What was the breaking point?
Breaking point was I got sick at NAACP Awards. And as you know, from the last time I got sick, which was 2005.
Yeah.
And this was another like, what's happening type thing. So I knew I always feel kind of sick after events because I put so much energy out and I'm truly an introvert at heart.
Yeah.
So being an introvert and putting out that much energy, you're automatically going to be tired no matter what.
Right.
But I always get like a little sick, like a cold or something.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what happened after NAACP. But then it was like 2 weeks later, my throat was feeling weird. And then it looked like it was swelling. And I was like, so I took a picture on a Monday and I took a picture on a Tuesday because I was like, let me make sure what I think I'm seeing is actually happening. Yeah.
So, it was almost like the lady with the red dots. Do you see this?
Exactly. So I sent the picture to my mom with the side by side. I'm like, I think it's...
Yeah, I think it's swelling. Yeah.
So she was like, yeah, you definitely need to go to immediate care or something. So she was like, you want me to come with you? And I'm like, yeah, but it's probably nothing. Because usually when I go to the doctor, they'll say it's something that has to run its course, some virus or something. Yeah. So it's almost a waste of time because I go back home with nothing. Like, they don't give me an Advil, aspirin. Like, I literally just go back home. Bill. Like, go sit down. Yeah. So I'm like, okay. So I go to immediate care with my mom. And the lady literally sounded like a robot. Like, I couldn't tell if she was a person or not. And she was in my face. She looked like a person, but she sounded like a robot. Yeah. And the diagnosis was, if you can't swallow in 30 days, then go see your immediate.
30 days?
30 days. I'm already like almost can't swallow my saliva at this point because it's so swollen and it hurts so bad. And I'm like, I'm going to be dead in 30 days. Like, yes. So... she was like, and she gave me some nasal spray, and I was like, what is this going to do for, okay. So I called my doctor the same day, and they said she didn't have any openings for like 2 weeks. So I texted my doctor directly, and I told her what was happening, and she said, come today at 2. Mm. So I went to the doctor, and you know when they use the tongue presser?
Yes.
They couldn't even use it on my mouth because I couldn't open my mouth wide enough because it hurt so bad.
Oh, my gosh.
So... and the tongue presser to me is almost like the little knee tap reflection. Like, yeah. I was like, I can't open my mouth because the knee tap is so like, you know, it's like a little, it's almost like blood pressure. Like, oh, well, let's run this thing.
Right.
So when she said that, and then she's like, okay, we're going to get you some antibiotics, but then you have to get a CT scan. I never had a CT scan before. Never even had like any of these type of situations.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. So she said you need to do it in the morning. And I did that. I took the medication. I went home. And then she called me at like 3 o'clock the day that I got the CT scan. It was like, you need to go straight to the ER. And I was like, what?
What? Yeah.
So I called my mom and I'm like, she said I need to go to ER. I was like, is this urgent? Like you literally mean right now? She's like, yes, right now. So my mom was like, pack a bag in case you have to stay overnight. Yeah. And I was like, I'm sure I'm not staying overnight. Like,
yeah. This whole time you just kind of like brushing it off. Like, because it's because you had got comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And working essentially at a deficit.
Yeah.
At sacrificing your health. So it didn't even sound the alarm that even though you couldn't swallow and you had any swelling, you just got used to being not necessarily sick, but you got used to be something being wrong. Like we just had this major event. It's just something else. Yeah.
So she was like, she asked me, did I want her to come with me? And I was like, no, I think I'll be okay. I'm sure I'm going home today. Yeah. And then in the emergency room, it says like 70% of people go home and 30% stay. Like there's a sign in the emergency room. And I'm at Northwestern. So I'm like, I'm going home. Like I know I'm going home. With those odds. I'm going home. So they give me an IV as soon as I get there. And they keep checking on me. They keep saying like, can you breathe? Can you swallow? And I was like, yeah, I can do it. I'm okay. But I didn't understand why they kept checking on me. And then they were like, we're going to fast track you to the back. I'm like, am I dying? Because this is a lot.
When did they tell you what was wrong? Because they kept kind of piecemealing you information and kept poking and prodding.
They had to put a camera down my nose in order to see in my throat because I couldn't open my mouth.
What was it?
A cyst on the back of my tongue and on my thyroid gland.
And where did that come from?
I learned that it was stress, but I didn't know what it was at the time.
So you were... I had a question for you, and I didn't know how you would feel about answering it. The question I had is, do you think that God uses your body as an indicator of when to pivot?
I definitely do. I think that there's probably small signs along the way. Mm-hmm. And I had already decided that I was leaving. So this happened in April. And in January, I had decided I was leaving. So, well, actually the year before that. But I told the person I supported I was leaving in January. And I was like, the BET Awards is going to be my last one, which is in like the end of June, beginning of July.
Yes, always the summer.
Yes. So he knew in January, like, okay, she's leaving. I knew that I was leaving. But when April happened, I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely leaving. Yeah. So, and I felt like it was a sign because they didn't want me to leave. And people were pressing me to stay. And I felt like that was God's sign. Like, no, it's really time for you to go. Like, don't you backtrack on what you already said you were going to do, no matter who wants you to stay. It's time to go. So that happened. And it didn't even last long. Once I was in the hospital, I did have to get IV and all these antibiotics and things. And they were talking about surgery if it ever happened again. And I was like, surgery? Oh, no, we need to figure life out. Because surgery on my throat? I'm like, no, that's not.
Yes. Because then you wouldn't be able to speak for a while.
Yeah, and you'd have like a whole, they were talking about how much the scar would look like. They were like, it's not that bad. It's just like a couple inches. I'm like, on my throat?
As a woman? On my throat? Oh my gosh.
So I was like, yeah, no, this is not it. So I had already decided just based on that experience that it must be that my decision to leave is the right decision.
How long did it take for you to recover? Because you stayed at BET even after you were sick.
Mm-hmm. And I knew the awards were coming up. So I was like, I can't be sick that long. That was my thought because I ran so much of the logistics for our department. And nobody else knew how to do it because nobody wanted to be trained on it. Yeah. And I was just like, I have to get well. So they didn't bother me for maybe like 3 weeks. Like they'll just reach out if they have small questions, but nothing major.
So they gave you the space to like.
Yeah. And everybody sent flowers and stuff. It was nice of them, but it still was I didn't know why it happened. And the only reason why I knew it was stress related was because when the BET Awards came around, it started happening again, like during that week.
Mm.
So my throat started to hurt. I couldn't eat again. I'm like, oh, this is stress related.
Yeah. After that experience, what does choosing yourself mean to you now?
I am definitely very health conscious.
Yeah.
And that's more so not just the food I eat or working out, because I've been working out consistently with a trainer for like 5 years. So it's not that. It's more so saying no. Like, if I can't do it, I just can't do it.
Say that again, because a lot of people don't understand. There's so much guilt sometimes, especially if you're a doer.
Yes.
And you are, like, you called yourself an octopus. So I got it. Mm-hmm. Did you experience any guilt in saying no?
I did. I experienced guilt when I left because I knew that they didn't want me to leave. And I knew that I filled a large gap in the ecosystem of BT.
Yeah.
And I liked what I did. But it still was like, nah, it's time for me. And it will continue on. Like, yes. I had to be like...
BET is still around, girl. And Kelly Rowland is still is still there. Anytime you want to perform, I'm certain they will make room for Kelly.
I'm like, it will
She
keep
is
going.
Fine. They are fine, okay? You, on the other hand, like...
Exactly. So I literally, like, on the job, I had to carry 2 phones, 2 laptops, and an iPad. And I had that with me all the time. And I had a backpack with all this stuff like phone cords, charging pads, like gum, Tic Tac, like all this stuff. Mm-hmm. Eye drops, whatever. And when I left and I was walking on the beach and all I had was on some like spandex shorts and a tank top. And I had my phone in my pocket of my shorts. And I felt like naked. I'm missing something.
Yeah. Because you were free and you weren't used to being free.
I was not used to it. I'm walking on the beach like, wait, nobody's going to call me? I don't have to answer the phone. This is crazy.
Right.
Because I didn't have a ringtone for him, but I could sense when he called. So
you guys were in tune.
Yes. So when he called, I heard the phone ring. Like, I might not hear other people's rings, even though everybody's ring was the same.
Yeah, but
I knew. And to not have to do that and just take my walk. And I was out there for like 4 hours, just like walking along the beach. And I was just like, yeah, this is different.
Tell me how you got into what was next for you, because I have here that you're doing Crystal Marshall certified. Mm-hmm. What was that birthed out of? Because you left BET in 2024, yes. Correct?
2020, yep, 2024.
And then when did you kind of come into your next round of entrepreneurship, or how did you even know what you wanted to do next? Because 8 years is a long time, and we just discussed, like, mm-hmm. you were used to them pulling on you, and when that was released, it was just like, almost like you're exposed.
Yes.
Like, what now what?
Well, God gave me the vision for CMC maybe 2 years before I quit. So I'm like not a dreamer that remembers dreams, but this dream was so vivid. It didn't have a name, but it was like every training module that went with it. It was like all of the titles and topics were in the dream. So there were 12 of them. And I was like, okay. And the reason why it made sense was because as an assistant, I worked with a lot of celebrities and I worked with a lot of executives. And they would ask me, like, can you train my assistant or can you be my assistant? And I couldn't do either because my time was completely dedicated to what I was doing.
Exactly.
So I'm like, no, I can't. But if I'm ever able to, I'll let you know.
Right.
And so when I had that vision of what it was, I'm like, okay. And I didn't have time to do that either. But I at least wrote
what it was. Yeah, you wrote the vision down.
I wrote it down. So I'm like, okay, I bought the domain. Mm-hmm. That was all I did because I'm like, okay, this is eventually what I'm going to end up doing.
Right.
And the day that I was leaving BET, we had a rooftop after party. And the Ellis family, DeVal and Kadeen, they were there. Mm-hmm. And those are like my people. So I've like managed them on site at different things that we had. And they're like all excited to see me, and they're like, Crystal, what's up? And I was like, yeah, I put my 2 weeks notice in 6 months ago, so today is my last day.
Yeah.
And they was like, wait, what?
Where you going? Right.
They was like, how you mean you put your 2 weeks notice in 6 months ago? I was like, I did. Today is the last day.
Yeah.
And they're like, so what you gonna do now? And I was like, I'm starting a business, training assistants. And then DeVal was like, I want to be your first client. And he was like, call me tomorrow. I'm like, DeVal, I'm tired, but I will call you. Can I get like 2 weeks?
Yeah. He was like, I need a break before I hop into my next. But I think that's amazing, because sometimes we have a vision of what we want to do next, and we don't know how to execute that vision.
Yes.
But at least you wrote it out. And when you started speaking life to it, like somebody asked you what you want to do next, you instantly had your first client.
Yes.
And so that was the birthing of your business.
Yes. And I didn't have anything prepared yet, except for the topics written down.
You had to start. you had part of a plan.
So I'm like, okay. I called them, and then I talked to him and Kadeen on the phone.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, let's get started. They had just hired their assistant like 2 months before that. So he was new, and he was a production assistant at Tyler Perry Studios. And people just think assistant is the same thing no matter what word is ahead of it. So he was like, he's been a production assistant, he should be good. And I'm like, that doesn't mean he can be an executive assistant or a personal assistant. That just means on site he can get you what you need. Like,
what is the difference? Because I don't even know the difference.
Production assistants, they typically, like when actors are on set, they'll get them their coffee, they'll make sure their trailer is decorated when it's their birthday.
Yeah.
They're just like, whatever you need while you're here, I got you. I'm trying to make this feel like home.
Right.
An executive assistant is doing travel. They're checking emails. They booking your cars. They're interacting with every face of your business, whatever that looks like. A personal assistant is even getting laundry. And they're also walking your dog or getting somebody to walk the dog.
They're
picking up kids.
your substitute you. Yeah.
So production assistant doesn't necessarily do all those things. And especially when it comes to written communication, they don't have to do that. Unless you texting them, that's all they need. But they're not checking emails. They're not responding to people in a professional way. They just make sure you're good while you're there. So that doesn't necessarily translate. It can possibly, but you can't just look at somebody and be like, oh, they're an assistant. They'll be a great type of assistant. Like, not.
So you begin to build like the knowledge and education in a framework around it.
Yes.
To date, since you first decided to leave BET up until this point, how many clients have you had?
I've done 2 so far.
Okay.
But I charge like a premium price. So I've learned that it's not always quantity depending on what you're selling.
Yes.
And my services, I used to charge way too low when I was doing resumes because I just wanted to get them done and I needed the money.
Right.
Now I understand premium numbers.
Because you're doing it is a premium service for a premium clientele that can afford your premium pricing. So, quick question. Do you still do Right to Success?
Yes.
In addition to CMC. So you're a fully entrepreneured woman. What foundation did Right to Success give you in order to launch CMC?
Bravery.
Yeah.
Because when I did Right to Success, it was more so because my aunt told me to, basically, and because I just believed there was more, and I was trying to figure out what that more looked like. And I took that leap, but I literally had no savings, no anything. I didn't have a real plan. It was just like, I'm about to figure this out and we're going to make it happen. And when I left BT, I planned it. So I saved a lot of money before leaving. And then the clients came, and then I got a mentor to show me how to do like digital coursework. So I'm going through that whole process, and it's all very new. But since I've done new things before and excelled at it, then that gives me the bravery to do new things again.
I want you to just give some people some advice that, you know, they've gotten the signs that maybe corporate isn't for them. And all signs are pointing north towards entrepreneurship. What advice do you have for those people that don't have the bravery to choose themselves the way you have?
I think you need to start with some sort of a plan. Even if you use ChatGPT to help you
Yeah.
map out something. But the more you have a plan and the more you take small steps towards that plan, you have to be very consistent with it. And you have to believe that it can work. You might not know how it's
Yeah.
gonna work. Like you probably won't know. You won't even know if it will work. You just
Yeah. It's a faith move.
yeah, you just have to be like, okay, I feel this nudge and I'm gonna do a little bit, just a little bit to get me closer to whatever it is. You also have to be brave enough to talk about it. So you have to tell people what it is that you want to do. Not everybody, because some people be like, I don't know, my cousin said, and their cousin didn't make it, and whatever happened with their cousin.
Yeah.
But it's more so like you share it with people that can almost hold you accountable, that will ask you, like, how's it going?
Yeah.
Because when people ask you, how's it going, it makes you feel like, oh, I am supposed to be working on something.
It indirectly holds you accountable.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think if you do that, then the picture will start being a little bit more clear, and you'll start seeing the way. But if you don't do anything, you will never see it, and you will only always think about it. And I really think God gives us ideas, and if we don't do anything with it in whatever time frame, he gives it to somebody else. And one day you see somebody else, they called it something different, but it was what you were thinking.
Yeah,
and
I've
they
seen
did it,
that.
but you didn't.
Yeah, I have seen that.
Yeah.
Had an idea, didn't execute it, and essentially you watching someone live your life in real time.
Yeah. And it's hard. I mean, I can't tell you that this is easy, but it's almost like a choose your hard type of thing, because jobs aren't easy either.
No.
Entrepreneurship is not easy, and you don't see traction in the beginning. Most times you see like small windows where you're like, okay, I'm on track, I'm doing
little
good.
wins here and there.
But it is not an easy process, but I do believe that the reward of it all is much greater.
How is your health now?
It's perfect, actually.
Is it because you're happier? Because you feel like you're working in purpose?
Free.
You're free.
I am free. Yeah. And I am, like, what I'm doing now, the work is like, I still work like 8 hours a day on my own dream.
Yes.
And sometimes I get like tired and I just don't want to do it anymore. But I have like this checklist of things I want to do in a day. And it doesn't matter what time of day I get it done. I just have to get it done.
Yeah.
So no matter how tired I am, I still commit to it, because that's my commitment to myself.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, I'm tired. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to watch a movie. I'm going to get back to it. But it's still happening today. Before 12 midnight, it's going to be done. Mm-hmm. So I still put forth a lot of effort in what I'm doing. It's not a lounge type of thing. But I still feel free, and I feel purposed, and I feel focused, where I can see the bigger picture, just don't know how to get there exactly. I don't know who my next client will be. I don't know how any of this will pan out, but I believe in it. Yeah. And I'm putting in the work in to make it happen.
I love that. What do you think your calling is now? Because you've been through a lot.
Yes.
And I'm so glad that you're healthy. It's something when you kind of tap into what God wants for you, that how everything else kind of aligns.
Yes.
But what do you think your calling is?
I think I'm supposed to motivate the masses through writing. That's what I think, because I speak a certain way, but I write differently. Yeah. And when I write, it's like my heart goes into the words that I write. And a lot of people say that it definitely inspires them when they read it. And I feel like I live the motivation too, in the way that people on the outside looking in are like, oh, she worked for BT, she did this, like she walked on carpet, she did all these things. And it was an amazing experience. So not taken away from that, but that's not who I am as a person. That's not all of who I am. That's not what my past has been. That's not what my future will be. And I just feel like I inspire people to take leaps, because I've done it personally. Yeah. So even when I have resume clients and I'm like, what do you want to do? And they're like, oh, well, I've been doing this, so I guess I'll just do this. Is that what you want to do, or are you just doing what you think you have to do? Because if we transfer these skills to another job, you can do something else. Like, trust me.
Yes, you have options.
Else. Yes. Yeah. So I like to inspire people to think outside of the glass ceiling that they have put over themselves. Yeah. And go after what they really want.
You mentioned writing. Crystal does have releases articles on her website. I have been seeing them. I'm subscribed. But I want you to share with the people how else they can connect with you, either with career help, or if people want to be trained to be a personal assistant or executive assistant, what that looks like. What's the best way for them to contact you?
Thank you. Please visit, first of all, follow on IG. So that's CM Certified. You can also follow at Write to Success. So that's WRITE, the number 2, success.com. I'll spell success because some people misspell it. It is SUCCESS. And I also have a website, www.write2success.com. And my website for CM Certified is www.cmcertified.com. And my blog drops every Tuesday at 10 a.m. So I would love for you guys to subscribe to make sure that you receive them. And I pour my little heart and soul into every single one every Tuesday.
You really do, and it is super inspirational. I want to thank you so much for going through your story. I'm sorry that I feel like we went through it really quickly. We only had an hour, but we covered a lot of ground, and you left a lot of golden nuggets about how people can choose themselves and how to listen to context cues in our body, about when it's time to pivot, and taking a leap and being brave and to chase those visions that God has for us. So if anything spoke to you, please reach out to us. Leave us a comment on our YouTube channel or subscribe to us on all podcasting platforms, as well as reach out to Crystal. She is bubbly and personable. She would love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we open the doors to have a collaborative chat and for us to kind of pour into each other. But lastly, I do want to thank the Museum of National Public Housing. As always, they are a great partner and have allowed us to use this wonderful space. But until next time, again, thank you to Crystal.
Thank you.
And I encourage you to use your crossroads to find your calling.